What's up, guys? I'm Mike, Mr. Throwback. You're in my shop in the East Village. I sell original throwback jerseys, sports stuff, pretty much. The store's pretty niche. It's very small, so you kind of got to be specific here, and people really know what this store is about. It's straight up my childhood bedroom. In a nutshell, that's what I really wanted in my own store, where you can walk in and be like, wow, like taken back to your childhood. Like going back, I would love to just buy everything, be like, Mom, Dad, give me all your money so I can buy jerseys and then bring them back here. But I mean, it's hard when you're also a collector in your own store. So going back to like an old sporting goods store would be incredible, just to see everything, because that's kind of like what I wanted here. I really wanted, when you come in, you're like, oh my God, it's really taking me back to an old place, you know, in my childhood that maybe I couldn't afford or buy something, but now that I have a job and I'm making money, I can literally come in here and buy what I want. I have a lot of jerseys in my collection at home, and it keeps growing, and I keep telling myself I'm gonna stop, and I'm addicted to NBA jerseys. I think my favorite jersey, there's a couple, it's hard. Now it's really about the aesthetic, the look of the jersey, the font. It's not about the player, it's just like the actual jersey. And I got one of my holy grails, which is that tie-dye Nets jersey, which I think is like the dopest freaking jersey in the world. I mean, music is probably a big part of everybody. I mean, I'm wearing Big Pun on my shirt. I mean, Biggie Smalls, Tupac. I mean, I don't know what they would bring to the table now, which is incredible. I mean, hip hop is just so like relevant right now. It's like, it ties in with what I'm doing also. Yesterday I hung out with Fabulous. That was cool. And what's cool about that is I used to listen to him in my Toyota Camry. Like, that's who I listened to, you know? And then another guy came in from the Rough Riders. Like, I grew up like heavy into like DMX. I loved him. But like, and now when say Fabulous comes to the store, it's like a totally different feeling. It's like, whoa, this guy's in my world now. And I'm like talking to this guy. It's a crazy experience. It was weird. This girl came in and was like looking for stuff for a 90s party. And I'm pretty nosy with my customers, and I'm like, hey, how are you? What do you do for a living? Like, I really talk to them, because you don't know who's who and like what they can help your business with. So I asked this girl, I was like, what 90s party is you going to? She's like, oh, it's actually Fabulous's birthday party. I was like, whoa, that would be sick if he can come in. And she's like, I can make that happen. And I was like, okay, you know, and she's like, I want this shirt. And I'm like, it's yours if Fabulous comes in. And she literally like looked down. She was typing on her phone, and she's like, all right, he'll be here in an hour. And I'm like, okay. So I take the shirt, I put it in the back. An hour later, Fabulous walks in, my mouth drops open, and I'm like I don't talk, like I'm starstruck here. Like, I'm like, holy fuck, this guy is like in my store, like right now. This is like real. It's hard to come up to and say something to them, because I am super starstruck. Like, I've had it in the store. Kid Cudi came into the store, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's in my store. And he's like, he introduced himself as Scott. And I'm like, what? Like, Scott, like, you're Kid Cudi. I did meet Drake, and that was like the most humbling experience, but I could not talk to him. I don't know. I just was like, I have a store in New York. Can you come? Here's my business card. Can I take a picture? Which was amazing. But it's hard. I'm a massive Yankee fan. My dad grew up in the Bronx watching Mickey Mantle and all the good guys like Yogi Bear, like crazy. Like, that's what my dad loved. So like, we would watch that a lot together. When they won in, I mean, they won a lot, so it was like kind of cool. 96 was amazing, 98, 99. 2000 was pretty great because it was against the Mets. And as like, it's weird. If you're a Yankee fan, you shouldn't like any other team. And people are like, I'm a New York fan. No, I don't think you can be a New York fan. I don't agree with that. Because like if you're a Ranger fan, you hate the Islanders. And if you're a Yankee fan, a true Yankee fan, you hate the Mets and you enjoy them losing. So for me, I enjoy the Mets losing. And to beat a team in your home state and like all your friends are Met fans, I think that was like one of the greatest moments. So it's funny, I wanted to be an NBA referee. From like 13 to like 18, I was like in the process of like moving up in the ranks. It's an intense process. I mean, they like critique you, these guys, like who like want you to become, I guess, higher up. And I have really bad posture and I have flat feet and I can't run fast. So that was like, I couldn't make it. But I did, this is kind of funny to tell people. Before the store opened, I worked at a Mommy and Me gymnastics facility. I actually like taught like little kids like sports, which is a real big passion of mine too. I was going to school for phys ed first, but I failed all the sciences, so I didn't want to do that anymore. And then I did sport management. But most people that do sports management now like want to work for, you know, a sports team, which is difficult. It's not easy. I had the pleasure of working for the New York Knicks in 2004 and 2005 as a part-time statistician, which was probably the coolest job besides what I'm doing now. I literally sat courtside with Walt Frazier and John Starks and Mike Breen and doing like handing them specific stats, but I messed up numerous times. That's why I probably don't longer work there anymore. I can't really pinpoint one item because I like forget a lot of things. But like if, say, I did sell a LL Cool J Troop jacket, which was pretty epic. I got it on a trade before I opened the store, and I had it for a while, and I did sell that. Kid Cudi tried that on. He almost bought it, which would have been awesome. But then another person bought it. That's something dope because, you know, it was from the 80s, said his name on it. Like Troop was like a huge company back then. I know they are trying to kind of retro back now. But like I'll find something in replace of that jacket. I think maybe because I'm a hoarder, I should be on that TV show. And was pretty much about the name, how it's kind of like surfaced. I mean, Mr. Throwback, I felt is a very like Mr. first is, when you call someone Mr., it's out of respect. And Throwback is just a powerful name for like this whole era. So when people come to the store, they can kind of understand, like, it's not just like Mike's Vintage. It's literally like Mr. Throwback. When you hear that, you're like, oh, they definitely have like some dope shit there. And I always wore like hats, and I figured, you know, oh, if I can kind of utilize my name and where I'm like headed and who I want to work with, I think it could be great. I mean, I've been blessed with meeting companies like Starter and Chalkline, stuff that I grew up with, and every kid had a Starter jacket back in the 90s. And in October, I'll be releasing a Mr. Throwback Starter satin jacket, and to me, like, it's a great thing for the store, the name, and just like the nostalgic factor. Passion, you really have to love what you do. If you don't love it, there's no reason to even kind of do it. Honestly, like, I think personality also is another key for me, because you have to kind of relate to everybody that walks in or who you're meeting and kind of build a relationship. It's hard to, you can't teach someone personality. That's why I kind of like talking to my customers and like relating to them. What do they do? What's your name? Like, I ask people what their names are, and I think that's cool out of respect. Like, and if I see you again and I can remember your name, like, that's big. And I think people who come in like, yo, Joe, what up? And they're like, holy shit, this guy remembers me. And I think that's a big success you know, a big key to success. I see myself in 5 years, hopefully in another store, like having another Mr. Throwback store somewhere else. I think I've come to terms that this store is like home and it's hard to leave it. And it is small. We are kind of really ready for another location. It's just expensive in New York. Having maybe in another state, maybe Philly, maybe Boston, something like that, where there's like really relevant sports teams and this store would do well in. And having like, I guess, little Mr. Throwbacks running around, you know, that's probably what's gonna happen.